Hey guys! So today I want to talk to you for a bit about meal planning. How I plan out what I'm going to eat throughout the week, how I plan what groceries I'm going to do, how I make sure I'm not left with food that's going bad in my fridge. Meal planning is a challenge in itself, but I have a little bit of an added challenge since I do live alone. Most things I buy will come in too large of a quantity for me to finish in one go. Then another thing I want to say is I plan my meals, but I don't prep my meals. Cutting up your fruits and vegetables before you actually cook them, cutting them up hours or especially days in advance will make them a lot less healthy. When you cut a vegetable, it'll start to oxidize and it will lose a lot of its good properties. So I would really recommend you to not do that and only wash, cut and prepare your vegetables right before you eat them, and the same goes for fruit. It'll also just keep a lot longer that way. So the way I like to meal plan is I always plan for a week. So I will sit down on Sunday and plan for Monday through next Sunday, and how I do this is I always plan my meals in sets of 2. I will try to figure out recipes that use similar ingredients or even the same ingredients, so that I will be able to use those ingredients for 2 days out of the week. It gets a little bit complicated here, but I will use the same ingredients for 2 days, but I will stick another day in the middle and then use that day's ingredients the day after, like 2 days after that. So I kind of have 2 pairs like that, and then the third one goes like that, if that makes any sense. But this way I'm avoiding eating the same things 2 days in a row. And day 7 I like to leave unplanned, you know, in case you happen to go out to eat somewhere throughout the week, in case you unexpectedly have guests over. Or if none of this happens, then day 7 is a day of finishing leftovers. And there are lots of things you can do with leftovers. My personal favorites are making soup or pie, as these are just dishes that you can throw everything in and they make something good nonetheless, depending on how you season them. Before you start planning your week, there are a few things you want to consider. First of all, look inside your fridge, freezer and pantry. See what you already have and try to plan around the things that you already have, especially things that are in your fridge and need to be used up. Then the second thing you want to plan around are sales in your local supermarket. There are 3 supermarkets in my proximity and I always look at the sales of all of them, and if any have any sales for items that I frequently use or that are personal favorites of mine, I will go to that store and plan my weekly meal plan around those items. I don't know whether this is the case in your country as well, but over here supermarkets tend to put things on sale that go together. So for example, you will have tortillas on sale and black beans as well, so that way they kind of already help you to figure out what meal you can have that week. And then the third thing I like to plan around are favorites. Any meals that I really like or that Robert really loves, and things that we could honestly just eat every day. And as much as I love trying out new recipes, there are always these kind of favorite staples that I go back to. The 3 things that I already have, things that are on sale, and things that I just really love are the things that I kind of base my meal plan on. So I like to plan out my breakfasts, dinners and snacks. And then for lunch I will kind of use whatever is left or just kind of figure something out. I always have some bread and some spreads available, so I can always have that for lunch if I can't figure out anything else. The biggest thing about meal planning is kind of combining ingredients, or at least it is for me. So for example, I can buy a can of chickpeas and a packet of carrots, and then I can use half the chickpeas to make hummus and use half the carrots to dip in the hummus, and then the other half of the chickpeas and the other half of the carrots I can use to make a Moroccan stew. And that way I have used those ingredients in completely different settings, so that I won't get bored by the flavor. And another tip I have for using largely the same ingredients and not getting bored is using different spices. You can put so much variation into your food just by using different spices and herbs. If you use the same vegetables with Italian spices one day and then with Indian spices the next day, it'll be like having 2 completely different meals. Something that I also like to do, this is kind of a no-brainer, but I like to plan around my schedule as well. So if I know that I'm going to have a really busy day and I'm going to be home late, I'll make sure to either plan a really easy meal for that night, so spaghetti or something like that, or I will eat something that I've made, say, 2 days before. For me, it's all about using the same ingredients in several different meals. So for example, if I buy an eggplant and a zucchini, I can make a French ratatouille one day, and then the next day I can use those same vegetables to make an Italian lasagna. So really the options are endless, and if you find it hard to kind of think up recipes on your own, you can always Google the ingredients. So just Google recipe with pumpkin and peppers, and then you will find recipes with pumpkin and peppers and ways that you can use up what you already have. So those are my tips for meal planning. I really hope you found them helpful. If you have any questions or tips that you want to share, please share them in the comments below. Yeah, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye!